everybody, and welcome to Crochet, a Canadian Crochet Podcast. I'm your hostess, Claudia. Thank you so much for joining me today. I herald from the base of the Rocky Mountains in southern Alberta, Canada, and I love to crochet. Let's get started. So I will show you at the end of this video, but I had quite a week last week, so I really didn't work on anything. The only thing that I got a tiny bit done is the bag that I was talking about last week, and I'll put an iCard up in this area for you to check that out. So last time when I had made this, I was, oh gosh, probably about here on this first row of double crochets, and then I got some neck done. So yeah, it's going, I guess. I'm gonna definitely have to block this because it feels a little bit funny. It could just be my stitches as well, but that is literally the only thing that I worked on all week. That's all I got done. But you know what, sometimes life happens, and it seems like life has been happening a lot lately, and we just roll with it. So yeah, I've made basically no dent in my yarn here, and yeah, it'll be done by the time it needs to be done. It needs to be finished for June 8th. So if I just make sure that when I'm sitting and, you know, just watching TV or whatever, then I work on this. So that will be done. And on the poncho, I took it out because I didn't, as it was going along, I was like, this is not exactly what I was thinking of. So I decided to start something else. It's like a mini blanket thing. I don't know. I am more just like noodling around with it, trying out some different stitches. So there is half of the beginning of a, what is it called? It's not a hex stitch. Oh, help me. A pineapple stitch. There we go. I knew I would get there. It's pretty easy. As long as you're counting, it's totally fine. Yeah, it's just, so this used to be a poncho. Of course, I frogged it. I frog lots of my projects. But yeah, so this is what we're doing right now with this. I don't really have anything to report on it. It's not very exciting. The blanket that I was working on last week as well, I didn't end up making any progress on that at all. It's behind my chair here, and it has stayed in its box. And that's that. So in case you're wondering, what did I finish? The answer is nothing. There's lots of stuff that's still just kind of sitting around and half waiting for me to do what it does. It's becoming the time of year that I definitely slow down on a lot of my crochet projects. So something I've been toying with, I think I'm just going to go with it, is this will be the last weekly episode, and for the summer months, so that's June, July, August, perhaps a bit of September, depending on the way that the weather is going, because a lot of my crocheting is weather dependent. I will be going to twice a month, so every other Wednesday I'll be posting an episode instead of every week, and then once the summer and nice weather's over, then we'll go resume back to regular scheduled programming. So I know that's going to affect the YouTube algorithm, but that's what I will be able to produce, because with the nice weather, we get more busy outside, and I feel a lot less like crocheting because I'm out doing so many more things, and there's more stuff to do, and things are just more accessible. So yeah, it's just, there's lots of daylight hours. The sun doesn't go down here till about 10:30 right now. It's bright quite late, and it's consequently it is up at about 4:30 right now. So almost, I usually wake up with the sun, just because of the way that our bedroom is situated. It's on the same side as the sun rising. That doesn't mean I actually get up. Like, I don't want to, you know, instill any false hope in some people that I have this amazing rise with the sun attitude towards life. No. It's just that it wakes me up. I check the clock, and then I'm like, okay, it's 4:44. We're going back to sleep for about an hour or 2 or 3. Depends on the day. Anyhow, that is that right now. I still would like to do my YouTube channel of the week. So this person I have been watching, oh goodness, quite a while, 6 months. I think I started actually watching her channel just after I started my channel. So the channel I would like to bring you all today, and I will link it up in the cards, is the Cozy Cottage Crochet. I don't know why that's so hard for me to say, but it is. And the lovely Hannah hosts over there. She is from Florida, so it's basically like she is at one extreme and I'm at the other in terms of North America. But I really love her projects. She has really great patterns that she produces. She has the most adorable little lady that she gave birth to, oh goodness, 18 months ago now. I don't know, she's so cute. And I love seeing her on video, but Hannah just seems like such a sweet, kind person, and I really love frequenting her channel and watching her videos, all of that stuff. So you guys should give her a check out because she is lovely and wonderful. What am I reading right now? I am still reading On the Road with Jack Kerouac. I am trying to finish it up as much as I can today, on the day that I'm recording, because on June 1st, I've decided to partake in the 75 hard challenge. So for me, it is not about weight loss or anything like that, obviously, because I mean, like, hello. It is more of a life reset for me in a way. So I'm still adhering to the lifestyle guides that it sets out, but I have made a few tweaks. So I guess you could call it 75 medium for me, since I'm not actually adhering to it rigidly. But part of that is that you have to read nonfiction books, and On the Road is a fiction book. So I have 4 or 5 books lined up right now that are nonfiction that I've had in my Kindle library for, gosh, probably some of them a couple of years. And it's not that I don't want to read them, but sometimes I have to be in a specific mood to read specific things. And right in the past, probably 18 months, I've been on a fiction kick. So I've read a lot of fiction, some historical fiction that I have enjoyed, that's a little bit loosey-goosey, but yeah, now I feel like it's time to expand those horizons and do things that are going to make me probably feel a little bit uncomfortable and just power through those things. So I have to read 10 pages of those non-fiction books at night. The original guideline is to say self-help books, but I don't really feel like I'm in a self-help kind of place, and I'm not going to read self-help books. I don't, and it's not a slam against anybody that likes self-help books. I totally understand why they have their place. I understand why people have admiration for them. I get it. It's not for me at this stage in my life. So I do have nonfiction books about history and things like that. So I feel like those will still apply because I am learning something. I'm learning about life. I am learning about other cultures, things like that. And I feel like it's the learning and your mind growth that is the fundamental of this rule, is expanding that and filling yourself and your mind with something that is cup filling. And it's not that fiction isn't cup filling for some people. It definitely is for mine. It serves its purpose. Oh, there's Sterling. It definitely serves its purpose, but it is not, I don't necessarily learn anything from it. It comes from a place of entertainment, but I am moving away from the entertainment factor and moving into the expansion of the cranium area. So that is why I'm finishing up as much as I can tonight, because when you guys see this, I will be on a brand new book that is nonfiction. I haven't decided which one I am going to read yet. I have 4 in my catalog. I'm thinking probably practicing president's something. It's Brother Lawrence. He was a famous French monk that really married the idea of mindfulness and Christianity together. And so it's appealing to a lot of Christians. It's something that people for years have told me to read it, and I've kind of skimmed over it periodically, but not a ton. So I haven't had a nice laser beam focus on that book, and this seems like the perfect time to do that. So that's what I will be reading in the next however many days. All right, down to the life news portion. This is going to be a short episode because I have very few crochet things for you guys to see. For that, I am sorry. I got rid of a bunch of yarn over the past 2 weeks because it's yarn that it's sort of scrap and sort of not, because I do sometimes like to keep the little scraps that are, about that long. to make like pom-poms and things like that out of. And I have a few of those right now, but I don't have a lot. I have like a lot of like 3/4 of a ball of something, which a lot of it is old or it was gifted to me or things like that. So I can't necessarily get more to make something, or it's yarn that I was just like super lukewarm about in the first place or things like that. So I have got rid of a bunch of my yarn, and that which I haven't got rid of, I have to really survey why I kept it and what I'm going to do with it, because I want to use it up. So I'm not sure if any of you noticed, I haven't purchased yarn in many weeks, because usually I'm like, oh hey, I went to the store and I show you all the yarn, but I haven't purchased any yarn, because yeah, I'm trying to use up everything, because I have felt guilty about procuring yarn and I couldn't really put my finger on why. And it's not, I've worked on for many years to try to avoid the sunk cost fallacy when it comes to keeping things. So just because I spent money on something, I am able to like detach myself from that notion and move it along. Like, yes, I did spend money on that and I didn't use it, and I have now learned a lesson about not doing that anymore. The yarn is a little bit different. And I couldn't put my finger on why I sort of like kept feeling badly about procuring yarn and having my stash. And I understand people collect yarn and things like that, but I don't think that's where my heart is. And I think that the reason that I was like, is because it was, even though I only had 4 like of those little boxes that fit into the IKEA thing here, those were full of yarn. That's, you know, all I had technically. I felt almost like I was hoarding. And if you know me at all in real life, hoarding is it is probably my biggest fear. I am terrified of bears now, this year and last year, because I had an experience with a bear that really, really scared me. So I was always abjectly afraid of bears, and now I'm like defensively afraid of bears. So yeah, I'm afraid of bears, I'm afraid of birds, I'm afraid of fur coats. That's a whole other story. But yes, like above all of that is I am afraid of hoard. And watching hoarding shows is very triggering for me, and I love to get rid of things. Oh my gosh, I love to. It's one of my favorite things in the whole world. You'd think I was a minimalist. I am not a minimalist in any stretch of the imagination. I do like having some things, but were a fire to sweep through our house and destroy it all, I don't have an emotional attachment to the things that I have. I'd be like, oh, like, that's awful, all of our stuff is burnt. And I would feel really badly for my children and my husband, because they do have emotional attachment to items, and it would be so hard for them. So that's what would make that hard. It wouldn't be that I lost my stuff or my pictures or whatever. I'd be like, they're just things to me. Where was I going with this? Oh yes, you'd think I was a minimalist. I'm not. I am looking at getting rid of some of my old books because I haven't even touched them. They don't bring me sadness, but they don't bring me joy. They bring me neutrality, and I don't feel that's a good reason to keep them. And I've had some people that have expressed interest in obtaining the books that I have, and they're really excited, and that makes me excited that someone else can have joy. So I am happy to move that stuff along. Yes, so that's just one thing that I have that I wish I didn't have. We have lots of plants, but I love the plants. They do bring me joy. They bring me happiness. They bring me flowers. They bring me lovely scents. And I like our plants. And yes, we have a lot of them. I will show them to you one day, perhaps next week or next time I post. So I do. And I have a few like knick-knacky things. Like there's this frog that I got. I just love him. So you hold him like this, and my son showed me how to do this. Yeah, like this. And it sounds like it's croaking. So I like that. I got this at a thrift store. It was, I think, $1. I love the wood on it, and it was cute, and it's small. And so I have things like that. Anyway, this is getting out of control. Let's circle back to the yarn. I am afraid of hoarding. So when I was looking at my bins of yarn, I'd be like, oh yes, like I remember purchasing this yarn, or I remember who gave this to me, or I remember what I made with the other part of this yarn. But it didn't make me feel good at all to be keeping it. And I used to make like that extreme crochet, like, oh goodness, I was into that for quite some time. So I don't want to make that anymore, because I don't want to. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of materials, and it's really heavy, and definitely like a deep winter project. So I realized I was keeping these things for no reason, and I knew that it was time to move them along. And so I know that some of the balls of yarn that I have probably were pushing 3 and 4 years old and have never been touched. All I do is like move them from one bin to another. So I was able to give them to people who love them. And actually, so I packaged them all up by size, which I think those who are yarn people appreciated. So I had like my size 4 yarn I gave, or I packaged and sold, and I packaged all my cotton. And the cotton, actually, that story is so cute. So this older lady purchased it, and she lived in a small town by Edmonton, which is 4 hours, if not more, from where I live. She had a friend who picked it up here from my place and then ended up giving it to her, which was awesome. And it is so incredible. So she sent me pictures of things that she had previously made before I had sold the cotton to her. And then once she got it, she made these things, and then she took pictures of them and showed them to me. And I was just like, oh my goodness, this is life-giving to me, that even if it's fake enthusiasm, the fact that you even think to send it to me, I love that. I'm so glad it's getting used. I'm so glad that, we can like keep moving down the line of, giving joy or happiness, or even something just usable to somebody to make them say, hey, I'm thinking of you. I love that. That to me is more important than keeping all that cotton yarn that I may or may not use at some point. So I don't know. Yeah, that's that. And I'm going to take you on a little bit of a walk here. So insert another video. The other day, the puppy got into something. I am pretty sure it was that she got into the cat litter and went nuts, because her leavings, we'll say, led me to believe that. And she also ate an entire bag of cat food. So we get smaller bags of cat food because we only have one cat, and I don't want it to get stale while he's eating it, because I don't like that, right? So she got into all of that, and she's been very sick for a couple of days. And this was all kinds of sick. And our carpet is 20 years old in this house, and I don't like it anyway. I absolutely hate the carpet. It's filthy, trust me. We lifted it up, it's full of sand. It's gross. And it's gone. So that is the reason that I haven't done a lot in terms of crocheting, is because I've been busy with my husband. Actually, he did the bulk of the work, and I was so impressed. He just got out his stuff and he cut it up and then took it all out, and dealt with the grossness, took it to the dump. I was really thankful that he was able to do that actually so quickly. But the floor itself it's an okay shape, I guess. So I helped him remove all the carpet staples. He got all of the little tack boards, which if you don't know what that is, they're these little boards that you can get. They're usually about that long, sometimes they're bigger. You put them around the edge of the room and on the stairs, and they have nails that stick up like this. They're sort of like offset from one another like that. So they stick up. So I stepped on these before. They hurt like the dickens. So don't do that. I helped him, or he took all of that off, and then I helped him take the staples out, because we knew that we were going to be doing some painting on the stairs for the very immediate future. We don't have a carpet picked out, but I think he was just so frustrated with the fact that the carpet had been so wrecked in a very short number of days. And I don't blame him. I was really frustrated. And even after the carpet was out, the puppy was sick again. And I was crying while I was cleaning up the mess, just because I felt so bad that she was so sick. And I didn't even know what was wrong with her. And she just wasn't feeling well. And cleaning up, another mess again. I had just had it so much at that point that, I was glad for the carpet that it was gone, but I was just like, oh, I need a break from this nonsense right now. So luckily, she's feeling a million times better now. She's back to her happy, clappy, silly Billy self. She is sleeping right now, which again, as if you've watched this podcast much in the past, you know that she loves to be in on the action. So she's just snoozing right now because they went out and had a good play this morning with me. Yeah, so that is what I've been dealing with. And then we have painted one coat on the stairs. We are looking at perhaps putting vinyl because we have vinyl on our main floor. We've had it for 10 years and it is like, I cannot sing the praises of this flooring anymore than I already do. It is incredible. It's not even like the fancy high quality one from Home Depot, but it was really easy to install. We have had several dogs, several cats, day home, our own children, moving furniture in and out, getting new furniture, doing construction, the ducks, all of that stuff. And yes, like, does it look brand new? Absolutely not. Has it withstood all of that activity for the past 10 years? 100%. It has been great. You can spill water on the floor and it's fine. I love it. So I would love to have that in our upstairs. So we are having a bit of a back and forth whether we should, you know, proverbially assault the earth in terms of the carpet, like take it all out. I would like to have vinyl all over the floors, in every room, every closet, all over the place. But my husband doesn't want that because he likes carpet on his feet, which I appreciate. I personally don't care. In the house when I was really young, we didn't have underlay under the carpet, so it was basically like carpet on cements, and the carpet was really cheap, so it was worn down quite a bit when we moved in. So there was basically no padding or like heat resisting, cool conducting. There we go. That's what I want to say in that. So I'm used to having chilly feet. I don't know. I wear slippers all the time because I don't like the feeling of gritty stuff on my feet. So I'm just used to wearing slippers, so I don't even think about having carpet or not. All I know is carpet is dirty. It's gross. I don't like it. I would like to not have it. But maybe we can make a concession. I don't think is the right word, but that's the one that's coming into my head. What is the word I want? It doesn't matter. We can make a compromise. It was a different word than compromise that I was trying to think of, but it's okay. And maybe get some area rugs instead because they're easier to clean. And if they get wrecked, we don't have to worry about replacing the entire carpet. We can just get a different carpet and all of that. But that is many months down the road. We will be dealing with that at another time. And that time is not right now. All right, thank you so much for joining me today for CROCH-EH, Canadian Crochet Podcast. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. You can share it, and I would love it if you hit the subscribe button so you get notified of every time I upload an episode. Thank you so much for joining me today. Stay bright, stay beautiful, and follow your vagabond hearts. Bye!